Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2022 Promation Corduroy Enduro presented by GP Bikes. Pat Gonzalez, along with seven-time cord champion Blair Sharpless. And Blair, a little bit of a misty and foggy Saturday to kick off test number one, but looks like all of the riders are ready to tackle these 16 tests that they're going to face over the next couple of days.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of a war movie, and I guess the riders are going off to war. So, yeah, a lot of great riders from across the country and the States. We have five-time U.S. Enduro champion Russell Bobbitt, and some really fast 6-day riders just fresh back from France.
And so the riders have made their way down to the staging area off of the starting ramp, and we'll kick it off at 9 o'clock with the first 6 riders. And among those will be a couple of our top women pro riders, including Marie-Claude Boudreau and Lexi Pichu out of Calgary. And then after that, Blair, we've got the pro riders sprinkled in. When you look at Philip Cheney, he's back on minute 17. And Russell Bobbitt, I think he requested a later time. He's all the way back on minute 23.
Well, the numbers are all assigned by lottery when they sign in, but Russell just waited a little bit, I guess, and ended up on the 23. I'm interested to see how Owen McKill goes. He's on number 4, the earlier number. Some of the trails are brand new, so it might be a little difficult. This first test, however, is mostly what we use for the demo course for the manufacturers to have people try out their bikes. So it's well worn, well used. So the early number is definitely not going to hurt Owen or Ryder Heacock, who's on number 6. It's not going to bother them. Now the next test after that, maybe we'll see a difference.
Well, in addition to Russell Bobbitt, there are a number of other top American enduro riders here, including a couple of riders who were last here in 2019 when they were expert class riders. They're now full-fledged pros. And among those, Cameron Harris of the Shelburne, Vermont. He'll be on the 10-minute mark. He was first in that expert class back in 2019. And Zach Attack Cleland, what a exciting rider. He will be going on minute number 19 out of Jamesville, New York. It'll be interesting to see how these two riders fare in their very first pro event.
Yeah, it will be. They had a great time battling each other back in 2019. And obviously because of COVID, this is the next time they've been able to come up. And it'll be interesting to see how they stack up against the pros.
Speaking of 2019, it was a young rider out of Jefferson, Georgia, who won the cord back in 2019. Well, we've got another Jefferson, Georgia rider in Russell Bobbitt, and we've got some great helmet cam from the rider as he takes on the cord for the very first time.
Morning, everyone. It's the first day of the 68th running of the cord, and pretty nice morning, really. Getting ready to go off with a short, just 2-mile sand ripper test, and then we'll see how technical it gets from there, but we're just gonna have a good time and see how it goes.
Well, actually, the reason Russell Bobbitt's here is because of Evan Smith. Russell Bobbitt is actually the mentor of Evan Smith, being the 5-time U.S. Enduro champion, and Evan and him live very close to each other. Evan wanted to come again, but there was another race that his sponsors in the States said he had to ride. But Russell, who's sort of semi-retired now, I think is what he told me, he wanted to come and try the corduroy after the way Evan talked about it. So it's great to have Russell up here, and look forward to watching him over the weekend.
Well, this was a very interesting opening test, labeled the demo track, because essentially it's the same track that we've been using for the super demo rides here all weekend long. And it was Owen McKill with the win, 14 seconds ahead of Russell Bobbitt. Cameron Harris on the 10B, the first trip here as a pro rider, finishes 3rd. Good run for Ryder Heacock on the Yamaha in 4th. And 2-time cord champion Philip Cheney rounded out the top 5. Not a whole lot separating those top 5 riders, Blair, just 26 seconds. A short test, 4 minutes, 32 seconds is all that it took Owen McKill to take the win, and he, of course, is our overall leader going to test 2.
Yeah, a short test in it, but it had a little bit of everything in it. It had the motocross track, sandy motocross track, a few jumps, nothing serious, and then some tight single track along the side of the river, and then they went back up behind the lumber yard into the woods again and checked out and headed south from here for test 2. So it was nice to have the gas crews and spectators see something right off the start instead of having the riders disappear into the woods. And but again, a short test. But next year, I already have plans to make it longer.
And so Owen McKill out of Vernon, British Columbia is your leader after test 1. But coming up next will be Toe Jam, a brand new test that I'm sure will give all of these riders a real challenge as Owen McKill tries to hang on to that overall lead. It's coming up next as we continue with coverage of the 2022 Promation Corduroy Enduro presented by GP Bikes here from the Ballistic Sports Desk.